In the headlines, nearly 30 years after June 12 annulment, Kola Abiola's son seeks mandate to rule Nigeria. PDP joins Emefele's suit as President Buhari orders political appointees contesting elections to resign. Sultan of Sokoto, Governor Tambuwal condemned killing of student accused of blasphemy. And Russia threatens retaliatory steps if Finland joins NATO. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. Hello and a warm welcome. Now, Kola, the eldest son of the acclaimed winner of the 1993 presidential election, Moshood Abiola Kola, has joined the 2023 race for the presidency. Kola Abdullahi, who is running on the platform of People's Redemption Party, says he's committed to returning governance to the people. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports that the aspirant was at the PRP's National Secretariat on Thursday to pick his nomination form.
30 years after his father tried unsuccessfully to become president of Nigeria, Kola Abdullahi is throwing his heart in the ring. And why is he doing so? He believes leadership must have a human face to deliver the goods to the people, and this has been missing all along. All this is about to change because his party, the People's Redemption Party, PRP, believes the citizens of Nigeria constitute the fulcrum of any democratic governance.
I have the interest of Nigeria at heart. I'm sentimentally, emotionally charged by Nigeria. The way and method in which things are going in Nigeria, I'm afraid that if somebody who's not symbolic enough and seen as a Nigerian and can hold it together, we have a problem if we don't start making that difference now. That's number one. Number two, it's symbolic enough that we had the best election in Nigeria 29 years ago. And with the new swearing-in date of June 12, 2023, it'll be a full 30 years of that election. And I think it's significant enough as a way to begin to build the rehabilitation and the healing of Nigeria.
But how will the PRP be able to navigate through a highly monetized electoral environment? Kola Abdullahi says it must start with the people, who must take their civic responsibilities seriously and elect credible and responsible leaders with the capacity to turn things around.
We want people to come out and get their PVCs and exercise those PVCs for their votes. We have the mandate. If we have the mandate, we will do and have the strength to go ahead and do the right things. And with that, if we're accountable, you can be sure we are going to be working for the voter. That's the biggest difference. Many of them do not go and count on the voter. They just get voted. They know their means of doing that. And because of that, they're not accountable to the voter. They don't feel any responsibility to the voter. But this time around, we will change that.
National Secretary of the party, Babatunde Ali, recalled how the PRP, which is one of the oldest political parties in Nigeria, produced Nigeria's ever finest leaders.
The late Malam Balarabe, may God forgive any earthly sin of his, and may God continue to bless his memory. Stayed in office for just 18 months, and there is not a singular local government in Kaduna State, the old Kaduna State, that did not register the presence of an industry. Whether you call it cottage, medium, or whatever. In agriculture, in everything, he hits the land like a wounded lion, removing people from trouble and snatching them out of poverty.
Though the party was deregistered by INEC after the 2019 election, it is now coming back to life, hoping to give the major political parties a run for their money. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Former Senate President BukolaSaraiki says it is time to stop the blame game and fix the challenges undermining Nigeria. Senator Saraki spoke on Thursday in Abuja about his 2023 presidential aspiration. Trust TV Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Former Senate President BukolaSaraiki only just stepped down from being number 3 citizen a little over 3 years ago. The problems besetting the country were already in play then, so he does not attempt to blame government for the country's troubles. But he is seeking to become president of Nigeria to fix those woes and a party that is in opposition to the ruling party under which he was elected as Senate President.
As long as there is a child in Nigeria that cannot read or write, then the job
The former Senate president believes that those in government should stop the lamentation and backpassing to aggressively deal with identified challenges plaguing the nation.
As long as there's one old woman in this country who cannot afford her prescription drugs for diabetes or malaria because she has no insurance cover, the job is not done. And it was this woman that have ensured people like her are covered and are able to buy their own drugs and get insurance cover.
Senator Saraiki, who was two-term governor of Kwara State, Senate President in the 8th Assembly, was also at some point chairman Nigeria's Governors Forum. He believes he has the capacity and competence to steer the affairs of the largest economy in Africa, rich in diversity with a population of over 200 million. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, among those copied in a circular directing those nursing political ambitions to resign on or before Monday, May 16th. The list includes members of the Federal Executive Council, heads of extra-ministerial departments, agencies and parastatals of government, ambassadors and other political appointees. Now, the directive was contained in a circular signed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, on Thursday. The circular directed ministers to hand over to their ministers of state or to their permanent secretaries where there is no minister of state, while ambassadors are expected to hand over to their deputy heads of mission or most senior staff. Now, it added that heads of extra-ministerial departments, agencies and parastatals of government are to hand over to the most senior director or officers may be peculiar to the organization in line with the service-wide circular. Moving on, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, on Thursday paid an unscheduled visit to President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House. The apex governor's visit comes 24 hours after the president's directive to ministers and other political appointees with political ambitions in 2023 to resign on or before Monday, 16th May 2022. After the meeting, he told journalists, "There is no news, but there will be news." When asked about his views about the anxiety created by his ambition, Emefiele responded.
Mr. Governor, sir. Sorry, there's no news that there will be news. There's no news that there will be news. You heard me, I said for now there's no news that there will be news. Don't let people, let them have heart attack. It's good to have heart attack. You know the office you occupy. Both the international influential community will be involved. I'm having a lot of fun.
Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the Federal High Court Abuja has adjourned till May 23, 2022, the suit on the eligibility of the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to join the 2023 presidential race. This follows the involvement of a third and fourth defendant, the opposition party PDP, and a civil society organization, Save Nigeria, who both joined INEC and the Attorney General of the Federation to challenge Emefiele's eligibility to contest while still serving as CBN governor. Emefiele had, through his counsel, Chief Mike Ozikome, applied for an order restraining INEC and AGF from asking the CBN governor to resign until 30 days to the general elections. Mardia Omar reports.
After the court sitting, Mike Ozikome, senior advocate of Nigeria, who was the counsel to the CBN governor Godwin Emefiele, speaks on the sordid involvement of the PDP and Save Nigeria as the third and fourth defendants.
I deliberately didn't oppose the application. One, when we filed this matter, we did not then know, nor was I briefed, as to which party Godwin Emefiele would be defecting to. And I know that up to now he has not told any Nigerians. So it is still based on speculations, social media speculations and all that. So I was very creative and careful in my drafting by saying any political party. So it would have been a contradiction in terms that PDP now wanted to join. Then I would say no. They are not a necessary party because I have not said I have any grounds against them. But in law, using the case of Green versus Green, they are an interested party. Can I show them out? Whatever comes to Emefiele, it would definitely affect them. So I refuse to oppose the adjournment. I say, my lord, join them.
Counsel to the PDP, Remi Olatubora, also speaks on their involvement in the suit.
Well, the PDP applied to be joined. We represented them, and the court joined them. They joined the PDP as a political party, since it's also going to feature a presidential candidate. So it has interest. The matter has been adjourned to 23rd of May for hearing, adoption of all addresses, and the court also gave orders that we should file within specified timelines. So we are ready to abide.
The defendants and plaintiff will appear in court on the 23rd of May for ruling on the matter. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammad Buhari has appealed to members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU to consider the plight of students and call off their ongoing strike. The president also urged students in Nigeria's public tertiary institutions to exercise patience as the government strives to address the nagging issues in the nation's university system within the ambit of the resources available. He made the appeal on the 19th National Productivity Day. Kainde Amodu reports.
With the extension of the ongoing industrial action by ASU, speaking of productivity will be a paradox with a large percentage of Nigerian youths unproductive and redundant at home. And President Buhari will not let this opportunity pass to appeal to striking lecturers to return to the classrooms.
I want to use this opportunity to call on the Academic Staff Union and the universities to consider the plight of our students and call off the ongoing strike action. I have earlier directed the Chief of Staff, Honorable Ministers of Labor and Employment, Education, Finance, Budget and National Planning to immediately bring all parties to the negotiating table.
That appeal is double-edged.
I also call on our students to exercise patience as we try to address the nagging issues in our university system within the ambit of the scarce resources available to government.
But the ASU strike is not overshadowing the essence of this event, which is the conferment of National Productivity Order of Merit Award on 48 eminent Nigerians and organizations in both the public and private sectors for their high productivity, hard work, and excellence.
Mr. President, I want to congratulate all the recipients of the National Productivity Order of Merit Award today. It's a noble recognition which you want to bestow on them on behalf of their fatherland. I saw the list. A lot of the people, 1 or 2 or 3 are some I know, and there are people who have exemplified themselves in their calling.
Acknowledging the emergency situation in the country's educational system, government has reviewed the retirement age of teachers from 60 to 65 years, while years of service have now been moved from 35 to 40 years to encourage more graduates to join the teaching profession. In addition, the President has also approved the special salary scale for teachers in basic and secondary schools, including provisions for rural posting allowance, science teachers allowance, and peculiar allowance, while prioritizing timely promotion and prompt payment of salaries. From State House, Abuja, Kainde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The meeting between the representatives of the federal government and various striking unions in the universities on Thursday ended in a stalemate. The meeting, which was chaired by President Muhammad Buhari's Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Gambari, had executives of 4 unions in universities in attendance. The unions were the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities and Allied Institutions, and the National Association of Academic Technologists and ASU. Speaking earlier, Gambari admonished the university-based unions to put the interests of students in focus, noting that resources are not finite. Members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities who led other unions rejected all pleas made by government officials to back down from its ongoing strike. It was gathered that the unions maintained their stance on the industrial action, insisting that only implementation of previous agreements both parties signed could resolve current impasse.
This is not an opportunity to continue to repeat issues where progress has been made, but to really identify where progress has been made and the areas where there are remaining challenges or issues that will be resolved, but all united in one common objective, not for the government, not for ASU, not for the unions, but for this country, which already we have several challenges that are well known. But we cannot get out of those challenges without a sound educational foundation. We've had in the past, we must return to the past in order to get to the future of a sustainable quality education for our students, for which our country should be proud. I would like to really appeal to ASU. I would like to appeal to all the other unions. I will make sure that whatever concrete efforts we made and concrete agreements we reach will be implemented by the government, by the president, so that we get our students back to the classroom and we get our professors back to where they belong.
President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Abuja signed into law 3 bills aimed at improving the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing and proliferation financing framework in Nigeria. Speaking at a signing ceremony at the council chamber, the president described the bills as being in tandem with his administration's commitment to fight corruption and illicit financing activities, as well as critical to the governance agenda and the development of Nigeria.
In tandem with this administration's commitment to fight corruption and illicit financing activities, I am today assenting to 3 major items of legislation critical to our governance agenda and the development of Nigeria. A. Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2022. B. The Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2022, and C. The Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Bill 2022. These 3 important bills are aimed at improving the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing proliferation financing framework in Nigeria.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. Downside of irrigation farming in Katsina State. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update, our top stories. Nearly 30 years after June 12 annulment, MKO Abiola's son seeks mandate to rule Nigeria. PDP joins Emefiele's suit as President Buhari orders political appointees contesting elections to resign. Moving on, the Sultanate Council in Sokoto has condemned the killing of a female student at the Shehu Shagari College of Education. According to the police, Deborah Samuel, a level 2 student, was accused of making a social media post that blasphemed Prophet Muhammad. The police said the students forcefully removed the victim from the security room where she was hidden by the school authorities, killed her and burnt the building. Videos on social media show men stoning and flogging a motionless body draped in red attire. Some footage also captured a raging fire as the man faced the camera, claiming that he killed and burnt her and brandishing a matchbox. Reacting to the statement, the state governor Aminu Tambol condemned the act, saying those behind it must face justice.
Everything is being done by the security agencies to fish out those that are behind this dastardly act, and they will be accordingly prosecuted as provided by law. Let me further appeal to our citizens that we must not develop or imbibe the habit of taking law onto our hands. It is important that whenever and if there is any issue that one or some people are not comfortable with, they report such to constituted authority.
Elsewhere, irrigation farmers in Ajua district of Batagarawa local government area of Katsina state could suffer great losses this season as a result of power outages and high cost of diesel and petrol. Now, the epileptic power is compounded by very low voltage, which could hardly power generators to supply enough water to the crops. Abdullahi Ahmadi visited some irrigation sites at Ajua Dam and now reports.
Farmers here have planted crops such as wheat, rice, tomatoes, pepper, and other vegetables with high hopes of a bumper harvest. But since the beginning of the season, these hopes are fading away as a result of the epileptic power supply and the skyrocketing cost of diesel and petrol. We have incurred heavy losses because of the shortage of water. There is no diesel to power our generators to supply water to crops, which have now dried off. Farming at Ajua Dam is a year-round activity, a situation that guarantees food security, employment generation, and self-reliance. But these power interruptions are technically sacking majority of the farmers from their farms and businesses. I have lost a lot. Crops worth millions of naira have dried off. Rice, wheat, and tomatoes have dried off. I lost cassava worth about 3 million naira. In fact, we lost crops worth 20 million naira. This is how the farms looked when Trust Television visited some few weeks ago. The story is that of a barren land, empty and deserted. The farmers are confused about what to do or what will happen next, as most of them are indebted to banks, individuals, and other financial institutions. The only success story is to those who are fortunate to have their farms close to the dam or any water point good enough to have access to frequent water supply. I did not get anything this season. We have been having good time, but this year, due to water shortage, our rice, wheat, and other crops were destroyed. The manager, Ajia Water Works, has a different story other than what the farmers are saying.
Water treatment plant is being written, not irrigation. Only for treatment and human consumption and animal consumption, not for irrigation purpose. I clarify to GVR and SAPK, that is where we have a water canal being constructed for irrigation. But in Ajua, we don't have that facility here.
This unfortunate situation calls for early planning and implementation, as well as adequate support from the authorities concerned to avert a reoccurrence of this colossal waste. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
A very interesting piece there. Well, that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. See you in a moment.